I'm Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Angela.
We are the Ink Mages. Join us as we discuss all things fantasy, world building, storycraft, myths and legends, and of course, our own imaginative stories.
Hello and welcome to the Ink Mages podcast. We're so glad you joined us today. We are going to be talking about marketing strategies. So it's like marketing 101. If you're an author and you're struggling to get a newsletter format going or getting subscribers to your website or newsletter, we have some options and some ideas that might help generate some people hitting up your website. So let's dive in and talk about some of these options.
Yeah, one of the big options as writing a short story. And I think for some, this is a really exciting prospect. For some, they're like, man, I have to come up with a whole other story to try to get, to generate people to come and see my books, be interested in me as an author. But there really are a lot of really cool things about having a short story freebie for your readers. And it really can come a little easier than you think. You can, for example, I wrote a short story based off of POV that didn't get to be in my book. So it's kind of like an Easter egg for those who have read the Once and Future Chronicles, and maybe they're going to get to have a little bit more of the adventure if they read my ebook, or even a glimpse into the world if they've never read it. And another thing that some authors do, instead of writing a whole other short story, is they will just make their prologue into a short story. So not only does it tease the story, but it's a nice, quick, free way for people to enter into your world without you having to just come up with a whole brand new short story. And then for a lot of us, there are so many little ideas percolating in our heads. Who knows what short stories might turn into novels? I know, Stephanie, you've had experience with that.
Yes. So, like right now, Angela just mentioned using like a prologue and turning that into an ebook. I currently just did that. I took the like part one of my A Clash of Kingdoms book and I made an ebook of just the part one. So, like right now, you can go to my website, www.sdanielacotta.com, and you can subscribe to my newsletter and you get a free ebook that I formatted myself.
And what did you use to
I
format that?
used Atticus. So there's a couple programs out there. There's Vellum, and that is just for Mac users. And Atticus, it can be used on your PC or the Mac. And I decided to get that one. It was cheaper, and it can also be used as a writing program. So you can actually write your whole book on Atticus, and it will separate by chapters. And like you can put your prologue in there, you can put your end notes, you can put author note, you can just arrange it how you want it to be formatted. So it's great to already start seeing it visually as a book. So I went and bought it, the Atticus, and loved spending a full weekend just getting this part one and putting it into an ebook. I designed a cover for it, and found little images on Canva. So put little emblems at the top of every chapter, and I love it. Like, it was super exciting knowing that I was gonna be able to give a free book to my fans, and kind of as a thank you gift. So the only way to get it, though, is to subscribe to my newsletter. So as authors, this is a great way to get people to be committed to your stories and your world by offering them something they cannot get anywhere else. That's the key.
Yeah, and wasn't Vellum like a one-time fee forever? So it wasn't
Yes.
another monthly
Nope,
thing
this
that you
is
have to pay
one
for?
time. One time, I think Vellum's $2.50. You own it, you get the program for life.
Yeah.
Atticus, same thing. Was $147. You own it. It isn't like Photoshop or something where you have to pay every single month to have the subscription. You own it. And it's great because, as Angela said, you might have more short stories in you that you didn't even know about. Or you could do like a teaser for something you're working on, format it quickly, turn it into a 30-page little ebook that only your subscribers get. And so they get an inside look into what's coming next from you.
And again, just as a piece of marketing advice, whatever you can do for your fans that's particularly special, or you can only get it a certain way, this really helps as a marketing tool, because again, we want to get readers and we want them to feel like we care about them and that we're excited that they're along for the journey,
Yes.
and that there are special things just for them that they get for being a part of
Our journey.
and our journey. And a short story is a fun way to continue that. And there's other creative things, some people can do digital um, cards, hero cards, villain cards, those kinds of things. And these are also really great tools when you're building a Kickstarter campaign to
Mm.
have exclusive for people who help you. We've talked about that in our Kickstarter episode. If you ever want to go back and listen to that episode, that you want to have a collection of things that you're giving for people who are helping you create a special edition or an ebook or whatever it is that you're having created. Having these giveaways that are exclusive for them is a really, really great thing to have a repertoire of.
Yes. And if you are an artist, fans love the special little giveaways. You could do a giveaway of one of your digital characters plus the book or plus an ebook. And this is, you only give it to subscribers of your newsletter.
Yeah. And freebies, I'm telling you, do so much for the sales of your book. If you're the type of person like, why would I give away any of my stuff for free? Anything that I've written, I'm like, trust me. If anybody gets to have a moment to glimpse your world for free, and it's a small investment of their time, they're much more willing to pick up one of your books because they've gotten to have that freebie to kind of just see if they even want to read your book. And it's just a great thing to have. Freebies are a great marketing tool for any author that wants to really build a platform and a base of readers. So it is something important that you should put on your to-do list. Definitely get that short story written. So Stephanie, tell us a little bit more about the short story that you wrote.
All right, so it is called Forged in Blood, and if you love medieval epic battles like the Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings, then you will definitely love this. So as I said, it was part 1 of my adult epic fantasy series, and it takes place in a frozen wilderness. It's a siege castle that's happening. It takes place from dual point of views. My 2 characters are Gareth, and he's this charming, brash paladin who hasn't really tasted the hardness of life and like the consequences of battle yet. And then there's the other point of view, Brennan Beaumont, who's also called the Stormwind, and he's more of a seasoned general, and they're best friends. So they're trying to take this castle in order to win this war. And through the course of this tale, they are going to experience some heartache, some loss, just overwhelming obstacles. It is a story of brotherhood and, 2 kingdoms at war. It's definitely just plunges you right into the thick of a conflict. Definitely that medieval epic battle. So if you're all about that, you'll probably enjoy this story. I love it. It makes me sad at times. I think what inspired it, though, I have always loved tales of brotherhood ever since I was a
Me too.
kid. My first introduction to medieval warfare was probably like Robin Hood and Ivanhoe. My mom had these old VHS tapes for us. And so those were 2 stories I gravitated towards. And then we had some like American ones, like so the Industrial Revolution, or not the Industrial Revolution, the American Revolution. So told from like George Washington's point of view. So I was seeing like the battles and then them being at Valley Forge and it's frozen and the soldiers are like dying and they have no food but they're all like they're united in this belief for freedom. And those types of stories resonated with me. I was a middle schooler who loved the Gettysburg miniseries. Like I don't know. I just loved it. Seeing men fight for what they believed in and
Yes.
fighting for the man and the brother next to them like really resonated with me. And so when you read Forged in Blood, you will see where this love of that kind of those stories came from.
It was actually when I first met Stephanie, and then I started reading her books that are still not published, which I'm so excited because maybe they're on their way soon.
Mhm.
Um, as I read this was the very first thing that I read, and I loved it. Everything that you said, Stephanie, just now about the story is definitely there in spades. And I was leaning forward in my seats. The battle is so well written, and everything is hanging quite literally on the edge of a knife
Yep.
the whole time. And so you definitely would love this short story. Take the opportunity to pick it up and pick it up for free. And
Yes.
then you get to have a little glimpse into her new series that will be coming soon.
Yes. And if you have read The Conjurer's Curse and The Race of Origin, you will recognize terms, people group, empires, the kingdoms, like the Immortal King. It all wraps in. So I love being able to tie and hint and put those Easter eggs in, as you
Yeah.
mentioned. So
Yeah.
that it's great if you can create a short story or a prologue or spin off of just another character, maybe a fan favorite from your current series, and people wanted to know a little bit more about them, their backstory. Think about just writing a 3,000, 5,000 word short story and give it away as a freebie for your fans.
Yes.
And so, Angela, tell us a little bit more about what inspired your short story of this dragon.
Yes, in fact, mine's going to be coming available soon as a free download, also for subscribing to my newsletter. But I had this idea since I wrote book one of the Once and Future Chronicles. In book one, there is an epic scene with a dragon that really kind of reveals for the first time some of the mystery behind some of the magic of time or time travel that's in my story, and it all surrounding this dragon. And it's all from Eleanor's point of view. She sees this dragon, it's mighty and very, ready to devour and eat them. But I had always had in the back of my mind this idea it was kind of inspired by How to Train Your Dragon, of this one species of dragon that kind of could camouflage itself as a tree or a hill, but then I had this idea of dragons in particular being more of spirit guardian entities more than a physical being. And the idea that when dragons were kind of no longer needed, that they did kind of morph into the landscape. So a hill that you could be sitting on having a picnic, 3, 4, 5,000 years later, would have once been a dragon that had fallen asleep.
Ooh, that's
And
so
so
fun.
I had this idea of coming at the story from the dragon's POV. This is a dragon that Eleanor is awakening, and the dragon isn't happy about it because the dragon was ready to kind of go to sleep forever, join the rest of her kind, and just become a part of the landscape. But she's being awakened, and her memories are not there because she's essentially been dying, slowly kind of becoming a part of the earth. And she's awakened, and she can't remember who she is, what her purpose is, but she's very unhappy about it. And I just loved this idea of what it would look like of a dragon who's basically covered in earth, coming to life, shaking off the earth and coming alive again. And so I was excited to write it. It had been in the back of my mind for a while. And now the fact that I got to write it, and it's something that people get to read, and it's an Easter egg, definitely, to my series. So if you love the dragon, a lot of people love the dragon.
Oh, the dragon, Gwylir is one of my favorite characters in her
Yes.
series.
And this is the only scene you're ever going to get that's strictly from her POV. And so I think it's going to be a fun opportunity for anybody who's loved the Once and Future Chronicles to get to pick up this short story. So it's coming soon.
Yes, and I just finished reading it for the first time and I so enjoyed it. Her little internal dialogue is great. How a dragon thinks about like eating things, and then her
Yeah.
frustration and her irritation just is so fitting and fun. So it will definitely be a fun one for readers to get to read.
Well, you guys, hopefully you're thinking about those ebooks, whether it's as a reader to get an opportunity to get a free one, or you're an author who's considering how to build your audience. This is an important step, and one I think that is worth taking. And again, it makes it fun for your audience. So consider this. Check out some of our other episodes that talk about marketing and how you can be seen more as an author. We love our audience and our listeners here at the Ink Mages. We love to be able to talk all things nerdy, fantasy, book building, and all of the fun things about the worlds that we are creating. And we love that you are coming along on this journey with us. If you are an author and you would like to have your book buddy read by the Ink Mages, or you would like an interview with the Ink Mages, go to our Ink Mages on our Linktree, the Ink Mages, and go ahead and sign up there. There is a form that you can fill out to apply to be on our show. We'd love to have you. Also, we love to hear from our listeners. So leave us a comment, leave us a like, let us know what you would like us to talk about on the show, and we will see you next time.